Today we are diving into one of the wildest legal dramas out there, the ongoing case between Carroll and Donald Trump. Yeah, you heard that right. This case just keeps on making headlines, and the latest update, a federal appeals court has upheld a $5 million verdict against Trump. Yep, a $5 million. So grab a snack, maybe a coffee, and let's break it all down. This is not the first, second, third, or even the fourth time Donald Trump faced lawsuits. From the 1970s until he was elected president in 2016, Donald Trump and his businesses were involved in over 4,000 legal cases in US federal and state courts. This number is unprecedented for any political figure or businessman of his stature. But what kind of lawsuits are we talking about here? Before Trump entered the political arena, his legal battles primarily revolved around business dealings, real estates, and personal disputes. For instance, there were numerous lawsuits related to unpaid bills, with Trump facing at least 60 lawsuits over unpaid wages alone. His aggressive use of the legal system for both offensive and defensive strategy was well documented. He was known for suing or being sued over everything from defamation to contract disputes. Then there's the massive civil fraud lawsuit by New York Attorney General Letitia James. Trump, his children, and the Trump Organization were accused of inflating his net worth to secure better loan terms. The result? A staggering $454 million penalty for fraud. Another family affair involves Trump's niece, Mary Trump, who sued him over an inheritance dispute, claiming she was defrauded out of millions. This case got complicated with Trump filing a counter lawsuit against Mary for her book about the family. It's like a legal soap opera. Moving on to criminal territory, Trump was convicted in New York for falsifying business records related to the so-called hush money payments to Stormy Daniels. This case marked the first time a former US president was criminally convicted, with Trump facing 34 felony counts. The January 6 Capitol riot brought a slew of civil suits against Trump, accusing him of inciting the violence. Lawmakers and Capitol police officers claim his rhetoric directly led to the chaos that day, though these are civil, not criminal cases.
The January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol remains a dark stain on our nation's history.
The attack on our Capitol and the attempted coup to overturn our democracy.
Where white supremacist and extremist groups displayed anti-Semitic and racist symbols and recited conspiracy theories blaming Jews for the pandemic.
Capitol Hill policemen were attacked and died as a result of that insurrectionist mob.
We all walked over that broken glass. We all saw the spray paint on the walls. We all stood huddled together in shelter.
On the afternoon of January 6, 2021, supporters of Donald Trump stormed the United States Capitol building. The attack was an effort to prevent certification of the results of the 2020 presidential election, in which Democrat Joe Biden had defeated Republican Donald Trump, the incumbent president. In the months leading up to the election, Trump had pushed false claims that Democrats were planning to rig the results. After Trump lost, he promoted the falsehoods further and encouraged his supporters to attend a rally on January 6th to protest the congressional vote counting ceremony. At the rally near the White House, Trump called on Vice President Mike Pence to stop the congressional proceedings and send the results back to the states to be recertified. Pence did not. Trump also called on the crowd to march on the Capitol. Before Trump's speech had concluded, a mob of his supporters gathered around the Capitol building barriers. As people from the rally began to join them, the crowd broke through the barriers and overwhelmed police officers. Shortly after 2 p.m., the mob breached the Capitol building, forcing Congress to recess and be locked down. Over the next 4 hours, rioters ransacked offices and searched for their perceived enemies, including Pence and Democratic House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, before the Capitol was cleared with help from the National Guard and state troopers. At least 7 people died as a result of the attack, and over 140 police officers were injured. In the following year, over 725 people involved in the attack were arrested for crimes, including assault on law enforcement personnel and seditious conspiracy to obstruct a congressional proceeding. However, as of December 2022, approximately 350 additional people suspected of committing violence during the attack remain unidentified.
In Georgia, Trump faces a criminal case for allegedly trying to overturn the 2020 election results, including a racketeering charge. This one's still playing out, but it's significant because it involves not just Trump, but 18 co-defendants. And let's not forget the federal charges related to classified documents at Mar-a-Lago and his actions to subvert the 2020 election. These cases are complex, with Trump arguing presidential immunity, leading to delays and appeals. Beyond these high-profile cases, Trump's legal troubles include battles over his tax returns. The Supreme Court allowed Congress to subpoena his financial records, leading to a tug-of-war over transparency. Trump has also faced thousands of lawsuits in his business career, from real estate disputes to environmental challenges. His approach to litigation has been, let's say, aggressive, with over 4,000 cases linked to his name. In the latest news, Trump has just lost another lawsuit. So what happened? Carroll, a former advice columnist for Elle magazine, has accused Donald Trump of sexually assaulting her in a department store dressing room in the mid-90s. She's been consistent with the story, and in May 2023, a jury found Trump liable for sexually abusing and defaming her. The verdict awarded her with $5 million, $2.02 million for the sexual assault, and $2.98 million for defamation. But that's not all. Just earlier this year, another jury awarded Carroll $83.3 million for further defamation stemming from Trump's statement in 2019. Yeah, we're talking serious numbers here, and the thing is, Trump's legal team isn't backing down either. On December 30th, the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Manhattan ruled against Trump's arguments that the trial was unfair. His legal team claimed that the judge should have blocked certain evidence like the Access Hollywood tape. Remember that infamous tape? The one where Trump's caught bragging out about grabbing women without their consent? Yeah, that one. Oh, you don't?
Moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it.
Whoa.
I did try and fuck her. She was married.
Huge news there.
No, Nancy.
Yeah.
No, this was marriages. And I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there. And she was married. Then all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look. I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just like, I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
Pull the hell.
Hello, how are you?
Trump's legal team also argued that testimonies from two other women who accused him of misconduct shouldn't have been allowed. One was Jessica Leeds, who said Trump groped her on a plane in the late 70s. The other was Natasha Stoyanov, a former People magazine writer, who claimed Trump forcibly kissed her at Mar-a-Lago in 2005. But the appeals court wasn't having it. They basically said, nope, this evidence is irrelevant. Why? Because it showed a pattern, a pretty disturbing one, that lined up with Carroll's allegation. The court even called it a repeated idiosyncratic pattern of conduct. That's legalese for this wasn't a one-off thing. And honestly, when you've got multiple women coming forward with eerily similar stories, plus a tape of the guy basically bragging about it, it's hard to ignore. The court said it was relevant to proving Carroll's case, and let's be real, it's not exactly a great look for Donald Trump. Now, Trump's team also tried to play the political card. They pointed out that Carroll is a Democrat and claimed her lawsuit was funded by Reid Hoffman, the billionaire co-founder of LinkedIn and a known Trump critic. But guess what? The court didn't buy that argument either. They basically said, who cares who funded it? That doesn't change the evidence. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time courts have ruled on whether presidents can face civil lawsuits. Remember Bill Clinton? Back in 1997, the Supreme Court said sitting presidents have no immunity from civil litigations for actions unrelated to their official duties. That ruling played a big role in keeping this case moving forward. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Trump's spokesperson came out swinging after the ruling. They called the case a Democrat-funded hoax and said it's a part of a broader effort to weaponize the justice system against him. Trump's team has hinted they might appeal this all the way to the Supreme Court. So yeah, this saga is far from over. So what does this mean for the bigger picture? For one, it shows that even high-profile figures like Donald Trump aren't above the law. The courts are willing to take these allegations seriously, even when the accused is a former president or a major political figure. It also raises questions about accountability. Can someone with immense power and influence be held responsible for their actions? This case is proving that Yeah, they can. But here's a question for all of you. Do you think this case is a turning point in how we hold powerful people accountable? Or is it just another chapter in the endless political drama? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm dying to hear what you think. And that's it for today's video. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. Don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for watching. As usual, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.